So we had the big storm last night, and there's someone who follows me, who's been following me for a while, who is a young meteorologist in training and has taken it as his personal mission to protect me and watch out for me. So he actually gets notifications day or night on his radio for my area. And he also sent me a radio, a weather alert radio as well. I knew it was supposed to really hit the worst in the middle of the night, and I just kept working. I was cleaning up my dishes, I was doing this and that, and things were kind of okay, and I went on to bed about 9 or 10 o'clock, and the wind was blowing, but it wasn't too, it didn't keep me awake. I had the air cleaner on and the humidifier going. And it's strange that you need a humidifier here where there's so much rain, but it's dry in there with the heater, so yes, you need it. And I had those things going, so I actually did not wake up until the weather alarm went off. And because I am trying to reduce the Wi-Fi, we've been talking about this in live streams, all the EMFs, we're bombarded with those, especially if you're closer in a city. So I try to turn off my Wi-Fi on my phone when I go to bed, and I automatically did that last night. And I always mute my phone because I want a good night's sleep. And so the weather alert radio woke me up, and I said, okay, here we go. So I could not hear if it said warning or watch. A warning means it's happening imminently, and a watch means you just need to be prepared for that happening. So it makes this loud beep, 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 and so you're awake, but I couldn't hear it from the room I was in. So I walked in there and I thought, well, this is probably it. Let's just assume it's the warning. And so I put on my ski helmet, which you've seen me ride on the four-wheeler in the beginning anyway, and I got that on, and I have a sleeping bag, I have a gallon of water, I have an emergency light, I had put my laptop, cord, mouse, and my coat, my boggin. I didn't have gloves. I had my clothes in there, so I felt like I was pretty prepared. When you've got so much time to prepare, it's really great. And so I climbed in there. There's not very much room. If I was bigger, I couldn't even get in there. But I squeezed behind the dryer, and I'm sitting on this little stool and waiting. And then I remembered that my Wi-Fi was still turned off. So I turned it on, and then I got all of these texts from my friend Jack. I don't think I'm getting through. My texts are not getting through. Da-da-da-da-da. I'm trying to warn you. This looks bad, etc. And so then we started communicating, and he has more sophisticated equipment than me, and so he was able to tell me, he was able to give me, okay, he goes, okay, it is doing this, it is doing this, we've got a few more minutes, I want you to just wait it out, we've got a few more wins or whatever. And so luckily I have that. I have such a great friend to do that for me, and so he was able to give me the all clear. And after that it was just some more thundering and lightning and rain, but the threat of a tornado had passed, and I heard that it was bad elsewhere. I'm eager to get on the news and see, hopefully all of my fans are okay. And I know I have fans in Kentucky and Illinois and other places and North Carolina, and so I'm hoping that everyone is safe and all of that. So I feel very fortunate that I only have to deal with a few tarps being blown off, and my firewood is wet, and I'm gonna have to wait till a sunny day to get it covered back up. but you know, I'm lucky. So I was going to tell you about my mother. So my mother, I don't remember, honestly do not remember ever running to the basement for a tornado warning when I grew up in Tennessee. And I don't know if this is just more of a, you know, the last couple of decades or something. But I do know that after I went to college, I was gone, that my mother and father, when they were there alone, my mother set up this little, you know, where we had a basement that was partially underground. You know, it sloped off in the back. So when you went into the laundry room, that was the most protected. And then in there, there was a door, and then a little alcove like that. And then it was like starting about chest high, it was the crawl space to the front of the house, because my father had built on to the back of the house later, and he had put reinforced concrete everywhere. It was like 8 inches thick of solid concrete in that basement. And my father never worried. Oh no, he never worried. But my mother grew up in a log shack. And her father was terrified of storms, and she remembers that he would sit by the window and watch for the storms coming in northern Alabama. And so she grew up with this very healthy fear of storms. And my father would say, you know, my mother would get up and she would go downstairs if there was a storm warning, and my father would say, if it washes us away, I'll just ride down the street on the bed. You know, he was just, he was not afraid. And well, he was in the Navy and in the war, so maybe that, you know, that was good preparation. But she developed this little, in this alcove, you know, when they got older, she wanted a place for them to go. And so she put the, you know, my father and mother were big NASCAR fans. It was my father's doing. He was a big NASCAR fan, so she became a fan. And so they had those seats that you put on the benches, and she built a little seat for two. Two people could get in there, and she had water, and she had emergency light and tissue and some food, snacks or something, and then she put, like, because my mother would always decorate everything, she would have little things about the raceway and pictures and all of this, and they would go in there with the radio, and they would go in there and ride out the storms together. You know, when he was older, and you know, after he had a stroke and everything, he just did whatever she said. So I always remembered that. I don't have a cellar here. I don't have a storm cellar. I don't have a basement. So I'm doing the best I can hiding under the stairs. So thanks so much for listening to my story. I hope it was enlightening or inspiring in some way, and God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. Scroll down and click all so you won't miss an upload. See you next time. I just turned around and I saw that. I literally had this whole house power washed. What was it? 2 months ago? And all of those spider webs are back.